Okay, I'm going to show you a little trick, right? We'll move through the dust cloud you see on the edge of this galaxy, but we'll do it from another point of view. The point of view that it's a disk, not closed by dust, but a disk within the galaxy as a whole on its horizon, so that the space is actually another disk. That is actually sectioning the whole horizon, as you can see. So what I'm going to do, my theory on irregular clouds and their ability to warp openings and exits as going from any variable through it as open space. Most of this activity of warping probably goes on in the center of the galaxy because of the fact that when a galaxy gets too big, irregular galaxy clouds will gather or be pulled in by the larger spiral galaxy. So you see here, we're trying to go through the opening as you saw ahead of yourself, which we've already passed obviously because it's an opening of space within the space on the sides. Now if we change direction, I'll show you that spot right there in front. Now it'll start to change shape. When it does so, it just means we're moving through that space, and that's about, let's see, are you counting? Okay. Now I just would say that even if you orientate in reverse, we're still continuously moving through that opening, but we seem to have moved past it because now the opening is smaller and now it's covered by clouds or star clouds. Let's try and go through that one in the center there. This is very dim. According to me, as we move through the clouds, we're actually moving in a sequence of cloud to opening space, to cloud, to opening space, to cloud, to opening space, and so on and so on. Even in terms of turning back and doing that again, there is a small difference, a shift, that while we're moving here forwards as cloud to opening to cloud to opening, that means we have an opening in front of us, alright? Now, if you go back, you have to discount the fact that you came from an opening and instead suppose that you came through a cloud. So there's a little bit of odd and even playing its role here. And that just shows the difference, the kind of dissonance between light and space. So you get no two events are actually the same, and neither are any one event the same. So as we approach the most bright part of the galaxy, the distribution of cloud is probably a lot higher than space, meaning clouds can conserve energy by not having any shadows from that space. Now space modulation would be that the odd and even, like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then turn around to 2, 1, 2, 1, would have some type of conservation of energy or momentum. So these clouds are so large, actually galactic, that just to imagine how much shadow action-reaction they have. For, let's say I'm a star and I'm moving in odd, even, okay? And I would want to rotate in a different direction due to many clusters that change directions, and end up in, let's see, being pushed or pulled by the shadow in an odd, even function, or being pushed by the cloud or the light of stars within it. So as we're moving through this cloud, I mean, it's a very long journey. What I imagine is that these very large galaxies give you more time to think. Because if I came out on the other end, you know, I would still sense a type of reward from having been able to answer my question as I seek answers. Now, this is actually very interesting. Let's go through that opening there. And suppose we are right in front of an odd function of space as an opening, and that the even function is the cloud that has once upon a time moved through it and cleared all the dust, so you see the shape, the outside of the dark space opening. Now this might be very irregular, or it may be regular, but it just proves that it's like components of galaxy clouds and stars in those clouds. Here we go. Probably the last glimmer. Now the thing is, you can orientate to the galaxy center because most of these passages through them are actually related to motion through them into the core or around the core of the galaxy. So let's not forget these last remnants of brightness of these clouds also implies that they were once of space. Let's just see if we can turn back and have a look where we were and where we went through. So you even notice we went through a whole section in curvature, and our voyage was long. It was odd and even, and it was space, and it was clouds. And somehow the conservation of these moving into each other is much like having pulled out to see what's behind me, but as we entered, let's do this fast. Let's see, tracing our way back. You see, I have to rotate upwards, which indicates the curvature is actually against the spiral arm curvature of the galaxy. So in some way, let's turn back again. In some way we have actually defined another type of spiral in our position, odd and even, right? Spirals for clouds and spirals for space.